Hey y'all, this is Trent Knox with the Trent Knox Show. It is a special episode because I'm doing um a testing of a new microphone system that I rented from Rock and Roll Rentals for the podcast and for my coverage of South by Southwest Gaming 2019. So I rented the Sennheiser AVX wireless microphone, the handheld version, in order to essentially get a good test of what it would be like if I conducted on-site interviews with these microphones. I know that one time before that I have experienced these microphones, I was working with Tanner Walters and Robert Gardner, who is a yoga instructor, and obviously Tanner's a videographer as well. We were at one of Robert's classes, and he was utilizing the lavalier version of this microphone setup. But this is the handheld version, and I'm looking to conduct like little tiny interviews with people who are, at the convention looking to get something out of it, whether it's from a consumer standpoint or an industry point. I'm not exactly sure. So anyway, so I went out and rented this, and I rented a H6 in order to record. And one of the real cool things about the Zoom H6 field recorder is that it can accept up to 6 XLR inputs and have full control over them. And it's really cool because essentially, if you were on site in the field and you had to conduct interviews, this is probably the most convenient setup. If there are a couple more out there, I had been looking around at other setups. I looked at this device by I forget who it was, but forgot the brand name. But anyway, so they devised some sort of preamp for your smartphone, and they enabled you to have 2 auxiliary inputs. Two XLR inputs to connect to your smartphone device or your camera through a 3.5 millimeter audio jack or a TRS out or in. So I did I did some research before I went and I rented this. I picked up the Sennheiser AVX. Okay, and I'm back. So in the middle of recording the first part of this podcast, the battery on the receiver just died, and I had been charging it for a little bit, so I just swapped out the other one for the other microphone in order to get this going. So essentially I rented it, and I got home and I started to mess with it, and I realized, whoa, the batteries are dead. And so the batteries in the receivers, I'm not sure how long they last or what it is, but essentially that taught me something. That taught me that I need to definitely have all of these batteries charged up prior to conducting any interviews. And the one thing is, at this moment when I'm recording this, I still don't know exactly how to check the power level of the microphone, and also check the power level of the wireless receivers. I mean, I played with it just a moment before I went back and started recording, and I see that there's like a check feature, and I'm hoping that feature is actually for checking whether the battery is charged or not. I'm not sure how long it takes to charge these batteries, and that's going to be an interesting thing to learn. I'm thinking about purchasing batteries, a charging deck, and whatnot for these devices, yet still, renting the the actual devices, because the devices run for about $799 for the receiver and the handheld microphone. It's about $699 for the receiver, the handheld microphone, and a lavalier pack. Sorry. It's about $699 for the lavalier pack and the receiver. Together, the handheld and the lavalier pack is about $999. And so for about $1,000, you can get really good wireless audio for conducting interviews or podcasts at in the I guess the realm of whatever the hell this is. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just being random. Another issue that I just ran into is that I'm going to have to buy a couple more SD cards because the SD cards that I only have one SD card after my backpack was stolen. So now I'm out of SD cards. So I'm going to have to go buy SD cards. I thought about buying some sort of device that would allow me to, hot swap the you can't hot swap, but I mean allow me to take the SD cards out of the recording devices like the field recorder and my camcorder, and then store them on either on an external hard drive, or store them via USB-C to my phone so I could upload them to the cloud and later on be able to do what I need to do with it. But I wasn't able to order that in time. Hopefully maybe I can go to Best Buy and pick up some sort of device that will allow me to do that. I don't know what the likelihood of that will be, but we'll see. So going into South by Southwest Gaming, and this is what's the date today? It's the 13th of March 2019, and this is South by Southwest Gaming 2019. For those of you who don't know, I have been, active in the Austin, Texas event scene for about maybe 2 years now, I feel like, and 2.5 years maybe even a little slightly more than that. Essentially, I've done some video recording of events. I've hosted an event, a couple of events if you include meetups and whatnot. And then of course I've done a lot of video footage, and I've gone to a lot of events covering them press-wise. Last year I went to South by Southwest Gaming, and it kind of sparked this trend on covering, large-scale events in Austin, Texas. So I'm hoping this is what I hope will happen, is that I'll be able to bring these devices in and conduct some podcast interviews, not necessarily with the people that are that are more influential, or they're influencers, or if they're I'm not exactly sure what the ultimate product or what will come of this, but I'm going to do what I can to at least get some sort of content created from this event for promotional reasons, because South by Southwest does not allow for commercial utilization or monetization of content that is produced on their properties or during their festival. If it's held to that standard, but I don't believe so. After seeing quite a bit of people covering events under bizarre, obscure blog websites, with very little fanfare or whatnot, or following and getting, purchasing platinum badges or getting press credentials or guest credentials to attend events that, not necessarily the best, not necessarily that they're not the best for that. And so I don't know. I just kind of questioned the whole South by Southwest company. I don't know. I don't know how to properly phrase this. I haven't been doing podcasts in a while, and I'm sorry that I'm coming back to podcasting, and I feel like I'm rusty, and that kind of bothers me a little bit, and I keep on touching the microphone, the metal on the microphone, and I don't want to do that. Just trying to figure out exactly how this microphone works, and what I'm gonna get, what kind of quality I'm gonna get out of it, and if I can go, how far from my mouth do I have to have this? What's the gain gonna be at? What's the volume for my microphone, or for the device, have to be at? And I think that I have it set at 100 on volume, and I think that I should probably cut it up to 5. There's going to be some background noise, but when you drop down to the lower volumes, you're gonna get less background noise. I do currently have the padding set to -20 on the Zoom H6 device with this Sennheiser setup. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll have that be the case for the rest of the time that I utilize it. Unfortunately, the batteries that are in the Zoom are AA batteries, and so I'm gonna have to have some AA batteries on deck, because if these devices, these Sennheisers, are charging, then it won't be a big deal. But if for them to be able to charge at any point in time, but let's say if I run out of AA batteries, then my setup is completely kapoosh. And so, yeah, and I hope that I can, there is a rule that prohibits tripods and video cameras in the to be basically pushed or positioned in the hallways of the conventions, or in, I guess, the convention center is the only place that there is hallways or whatnot. But I don't know. We're going to have to figure out some way. I would love to have some video footage of the experience that I have at this event, and we'll see how it works out, and hopefully everything that comes from this South by Southwest 2019 gaming, South by Southwest Gaming 2019, is going to be positive, and that we'll have a lot of great content come from it. And so let's segue from that to what's been going on in my life. So as you guys probably know, that I've been listening to the podcast for some time. I've been away for, actually, I don't know how long. Maybe 2 weeks is the last time that I recorded a podcast. Obviously, the last podcast that I have uploaded was culture, cutting edge culture, or cutting edge, probably just cutting edge, 3 with Brian Kern, and that was I think after Valentine's Day or something like that, and he went and he left to go to California to go to Hard Festival, and we've been so busy. Both of us have been so busy. He's been busy with his work, and I've been busy with Instacart and Postmates to get to communicating on a level in which we can be present when we're talking about this cutting edge culture, or cutting edge and eventually cutting edge culture, because with Sebastian, it's a little bit more difficult to get Sebastian into the virtual studio or the studio to record for culture. I know we're on like culture, I think we might be on culture 3 now, but we wanted to do a cross show with this cutting edge culture show, where Brian and Sebastian were both included in on the show. And I'm not sure exactly when that will be, but we'll see. And I'll try to keep you guys most up to date on social media as far as that goes on Trent Knox or at wherever. You know what I mean? Just my utilization. I'm back on Instagram. I don't know if I told the podcast this, but from like the beginning of the year on to about a week ago, I had not been on Instagram. I logged out of my account and I just kind of left it be. And the reason why I'm going back to being on Instagram is because I want to still post pictures. I still want to desire to post pictures in a format that is, meant for posting pictures. You post on Facebook, it doesn't get perceived the same way that it does on Instagram, because there's an expectation of photos and short form video on Instagram. So I'm back on Instagram, and when I get back on Instagram, I find out that my mom is starting her own little home business, and she's wildly successful at it, and she's getting the means to sell and to put her products on a marketplace together. But if she really put the advertising and the marketing into her products, she would definitely sell. Her company is at RK Creations with Love on Instagram. Shout out to my mom. And she's selling these homemade crafts, and honestly, they're very home style. They're down to earth. They are. I mean, I'd never seen her do anything like this before in my life. One time she knit a U.S. flag back when my dad was out at war. And yeah, and that was a while back, and so she's into crafts again, and I promote and I endorse all of the products that my mom is making right now. For quite some time back in when I was in high school and then into college, I think that she learned a lot about marketing and advertising and whatnot, but then didn't see the success from it because these multi-level marketing programs or subscription-based programs like Sensi or It Works or Tupperware or not Sally Mae, Mary Kay, all of those things. Not necessarily that she participated in all of those, but that those sorts of things, they don't sell themselves necessarily. You have to have a close-knit network of people who are utilizing those products and are familiar with you and your intentions and what they are, and not necessarily it's not that I don't want to say that she gave up, because she still has a lot of product, and then when she got that product, once you're kind of out of the system per se, purchasing by becoming a buyer or a purchaser for those multi-level marketing systems or whatnot, there's probably a better name for it. You sell those products on Amazon to your locally, sell them on eBay, and maybe they'll ban you or whatever because you're supposed to be doing it with these parties or whatever. But you can basically just get rid of all of your stock, and then you can kind of go towards getting into the business of actually selling a product that means something to you. And so yeah, my mom has been getting into crafting these wreaths and blankets and animals and all kinds of different things that she's been making, and I'm super proud of her and what she's got going on, and I'm like I said, this is like something it's actually, Hobby Lobby. Like I could see this, being a fixture in someone's house, encompassing with some other design work, and I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what extent she wants to be like a designer, like an interior designer or something like that, but maybe one piece it kind of is an accent, or a it kind of can be built your house, your decor could be built around some of these fixtures that my mom is crafting, and I think that they're very modern. Some of them are very modern. Some of them are very culture centric. Some of them are more like holiday based. It's all a big different variety. Currently she's up on what the hell Etsy. I'm trying to get her to convert from Etsy to eBay, because the overall marketplace is better on eBay than it is on Etsy, because Etsy kind of like they want to capture all of the traffic prior to they want to capture the traffic, sell you a bunch of other crap before you actually get to the crap you want to get. And eBay does that, but you can bypass that other crap and just go straight to the stuff that you want to buy, and then they kind of like integrate that around what you want to buy, other things you may also want to buy. Similarly to what goes on with Amazon. Pardon me, I got like sneezes and stuff. So we'll see how that works out. And shout out to my mom and my brother. My brother just turned 18 and on March 8th, and now he's a big fledged adult. And now he's responsible for a bunch of adult things. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. And he's been going to college. He's doing phenomenally. He's getting straight A's in college. Mind you, he's still at community college, and he hasn't yet stepped up to play in the big leagues. But I could see him, stepping up, playing in the big leagues, going to a university, and playing with the smart people, and like I did, 3 times, and getting, going out there and really, winning a championship or something. I don't know, and debate, or I don't know, but he's finding himself wanting to do some sort of computer science, cyber security, something in the digital realm. I mean, he spent his whole entire life being educated by homeschool systems that were established on the internet. So he's got a lot of knowledge in regards to the internet and what kind of weaknesses and vulnerabilities, integrities, what he knows a lot about it. And I feel like I'm similar, but I mean sometimes like I'll ask questions, and he, now that he's an adult, I ask him more philosophical, more adult questions, and he's young and just like I am, and we don't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers, Sway. We don't have all the answers, Sway. And so we're kind of like, living this life, and we're doing what we got to do. And that thing that we got to do is go forward and get things done, and show our accomplishments. And some people think that by showing your accomplishments you're boasting, but in fact it's just a resume. It shows people what you can and can't do. And you know, whether you came in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, I know a lot of people will only you know, give you your merit if you came in first. But if you came in first, second, or third, or fourth, you know, you're running up for a prize. You know, show that, let people know that you're utilizable, that they can put you to action, you know, whether, you know, maybe they need a D player, you know, because they need someone to sit the bench and learn, because maybe that person that is in that position right now is getting a little bit of older, and will need to replace themselves, you know. Always ask around about that. That's where I'm coming to as far as employment goes on. So as you guys probably know, a lot of the reason why I stopped or I took a break from podcasting was because I needed to get some cash. I needed to get some equity. I needed some capital. So I went to work, and I've been working really hard. Like the week before, I worked like 80 hours every single day. I took no break. Took no day off. I was working Postmates, and then I worked Instacart, and now I'm the opposite this time. I went from Postmates. I took a couple days off last week, and then I'm back at it, and I did Postmates, and then I did Instacart on the back half end, and then I took a couple days off, and then I did Postmates, and I'm now back at Instacart again, doing Instacart. And I can't say that I am infatuated with Instacart, but I can say that there are reasons why I like being a driver for Instacart, and there are reasons why I like being a driver for Postmates. Oh gosh, sorry about that. With Instacart, there's a little bit more authority over as a driver over what stores you'll shop from, sort of, just by kind of putting yourself in a certain location, because it's a complex thing to describe if you're not a driver. And then for Postmates, it's kind of the opposite. There's no real authority to dictate where you're gonna be, where you're gonna go, because they could take you from North Austin all the way to South Austin, or South Austin all the way to North Austin, or vice versa, depending upon kind of like the amount of drivers on the road or whatever it may be. But with Instacart, it's kind of specific. So like they kind of put you as a node on a map, and then look at the driving distance in relation to other nodes on the map toward specific surroundings of a radius of the stores that you're near. Sometimes I will be on Instacart and I'll be parked in a certain shop's a certain store's parking lot, and I will get a pickup for not too far, but kind of like 5 minutes away, another store. And it'll be ironic because you think that, like, I mean, I just left that store and there clearly was items on the shelf to be delivered, and then God knows who's ordering full service pickup. You know what I mean? Driver picks up with Instacart. The driver shops the items in the store, then purchases them, then delivers them to the house. It's a full service fee. And then there's the shoppers in store who shop the products, bag the products, put them on the shelf, and then you pick them up, and the drivers pick those up as like a delivery only and take them to the person's house as delivery. That's how Instacart kind of works, and I don't want to go too in depth of how my jobs work, but that's how that works. And then with Postmates, it's kind of like you just random restaurants, and then I don't want to go too far in depth. I'm going to be putting out I'm going to be putting out an in-depth driver knowledge thing to kind of like give people tips and tricks for Postmates, because it's the thing that I've been doing the most. Tips and tricks on how to be successful on Postmates. I've been looking at other people's videos, and I think that I could really set the bar a lot higher as far as content creators in the Postmates realm of things, and it comes to like this whole new content creation thing surrounding, multi-level marketing systems, pyramid schemes, or app-based delivery services for last mile services. Any sort of application that you can kind of game, that there's a gamingness to it. There's this new content creation opportunity to show people how to be successful surrounding that thing that's, you can profit from. Postmates, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. There are quite a few different ones that you can get involved with, and well, hell, I mean, I just think it's just so great that there's now these opportunities, to be your own boss, create your own little sole proprietorship, or if you get to the point at which you have the opportunity to build a business off of these. A separate business off of these, you can create an LLC and really rock it, and that the economy of there being some sort of dictatorship over an individual is on its way out. It's just not appropriate. It's not appropriate to have, a boss that's it's absurd. Like, unless you actually work for a company, let's say you're an employee of X, Y, and Z, and you're not a sole proprietor because they're paying their taxes and they're not trying to evade taxes. That they're a business and they hire you as a full-time or part-time employee of the company, something like a Walmart or whatnot, and that you are completely corporatized, then it's a little different, because now you have a boss. That person does dictate to you what you should do because you're utilizing your social security number, or your alien number, or your alien identification number, or your whatever, your TIN, or whatever it may be, to work that job. And so, but when you're a sole proprietor and that you're an independent contractor, it's vastly different. And this is something that I'm running into with Instacart, is that there are these in-store shoppers that are dictating the way that other people should run their business, and I think that's just completely inappropriate. I think that there should be no hierarchy within multi-level marketing systems, because essentially what that's doing is saying that one person is greater than the other and that they have some authority over their business, but in fact there is no authority over their business. There isn't. There's no paperwork to show that. When if that's going to be the case, then your business should definitely be, I don't know, how do I put this? Your business should agree that the other business and you are going to be in a partnership. It shouldn't be that, whether they're utilizing a third party communicator like Instacart to set this agreement up between you and the other business, because you never approved, you never went to Instacart, not to say that Instacart can't make their own decision, but you never went to Instacart and said, okay, this person that got hired is a good fit. Whereas in a corporate environment, you usually go through multiple interviews with people who are employees, not independent contractors, employees of that business. But you're not an employee, you're an independent contractor. Those are two different things. When you go and work for companies like multi-level marketing systems, or also like the Ubers and the Lyfts of the world, these last mile applications. There are other businesses out there that are kind of climbing in the application digital paid work. I think that's the best way to phrase it. There's probably an acronym or some sort of phrase that better explains what I'm trying to explain. But whatever that is, someone in the comments will educate me on this. But it's just a system, and this is what I've been dealing with, and where I've been at. And so with South by Southwest gaming coming up, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna take a 3-day break from work, and then I'll be back at it right after. I'm going to work, and I think that Sunday evening, I'm gonna be working. Just to cash out a little bit more dough. So I'm glad I got back on this podcast thing, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember to follow me on Instacart. Remember to follow me on social media. It's at Trent Knox on pretty much everything, or at Trent Knox TV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, and then this is Anchor.fm, best place to get your podcast uploaded, published, and monetized and hosted, of course. And that's about it, man. And I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.